Hi everyone, it's Saturday, July 14th, and if you're new here, I'm April. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know this can be an uncomfortable topic and traditionally is one that people don't really talk about, at least not so openly, but I didn't want that and I didn't want to feel as if I was suffering in silence, I guess, and more importantly, I want to help people who are, experiencing what I did, even if it's just one person. If you are going through this, I need you to know, I need you to hear these three things. I really need you to hear them. The first is that you didn't do anything. This happened to you. This happened to us. We didn't do it. We didn't cause it. Two is that it's not some sort of dirty little secret that you have to keep and you have to just deal with by yourself because you did something and now you have to just be silent about it. That's not what this is. You didn't do anything. You don't have to live with this alone. And you don't have to feel like, you did something wrong and you're not allowed to talk about it. If you need to, do. But everybody heals and deals differently. So if this is something that you don't feel comfortable sharing and you don't want to talk about, then don't. That's perfectly okay too. Three is that you are not alone and you don't have to go through this alone. That said, I want you to know that no matter my relationship with you, even if we're perfect strangers, I am here for you if you need anything. Maybe you haven't shared this with anybody and you don't have to share it with me. You could share it with someone in your life if you feel that you need to, but I just want you all to know that I am here to listen and I'm here to help, even if it's just to give you a little bit of hope or something. I'm here. To get right into this, the first few days in June, Ryan and I found out that we were going to be expecting a baby and we were so excited. It was like the greatest news you could ever receive. And about 3 weeks ago now, we found out that we lost our pregnancy. It's been tough. It's been heartbreaking. It's been sad. And most of all, it's been really hard to talk about it, especially out loud. Last Friday, July 6th, I had my final blood test, and after that, I think that was really when my healing started. And I came home and I sat down with this camera and I just talked out all of my feelings because I hadn't, like I said, addressed it out loud. I hadn't really talked about it. I hadn't said it, anything really out loud. I think that I was, convincing myself that I'm okay the way that you do when something really sad or really tragic happens. You try to be strong and you try to be okay. At least that's how I deal with things. And so with this, I tried to accept it really early on. And I think there are certain things that I did accept and certain things that I did, I don't know if I dealt with them, but I accepted them. And then I kind of just pushed them off to the side. So I think this was my way of just personally dealing with it, just talking about it. And it actually started because I came home and I kind of wanted to get my mind off of it, and I was thinking how I hadn't vlogged or done anything on my channel in a long time. And so I was like, why don't I get back into vlogging? I have more time now, so let's just do that and get on with our weekend and we'll be fine. And I did for about 2 seconds, and then I just started talking about everything because it really hit me, and there was that video. So I thought long and hard about sharing it, but it was just too emotional, and frankly, I'm not ready to be that vulnerable here. And more importantly, I didn't want it to be about my emotions. I want this to be about how I can help you. So yesterday I sat down and I tried to film a little bit more to help me get into the right direction and then give you the full story with that video. But like I said, it was too much for me to be comfortable sharing. Maybe one day, but not now. So here we are, and hopefully this one makes it to you guys. I actually will be sharing a clip from that video from last week because there was a message that I had in it that I think still comes across perfectly, and it says everything the way that I would want it to. so that'll be at the end. For specifics and for my story and my experience, you can visit my latest blog post. I've shared that there. Like I said, it was a lot easier to do it that way because talking about it on a video and talking with you guys, it's just still a little too emotional for me. I'm not ready for that yet. Let's get into the 4 things that I wish I had known and or that I learned from my miscarriage. Number 1 is the process and the duration. I wish that I had known how long this happens or how long it lasts, from when you first start with complications to when you have gone through all of your testing and the miscarriage is considered complete. I wish that I had known more about what that process was going to be like, what it was going to entail, what kind of tests, spotting versus bleeding, what that would look like, what it would feel like, just so much. I wish that I had known that I didn't know. And you can see, again, more of that in my blog post. I will link it down below, just because I can't talk about that without crying still. So, I mean, it's only been a few weeks. I don't even know if, I don't know how this healing works. I don't know if I'll ever be able to talk about it without at least getting watery-eyed. I'm not sure. We'll see one day. But anyway, I have linked that down below so you guys can see if you want to know more specifically about what this is like and what I went through. But what I will say is that when we're talking about complications and the full duration of that, including like the aftermath, the beginning of the aftermath, it was 10 days. So it was a long time. And it was about another week and a half after that this process finally ended and the miscarriage was considered complete. Second is ultrasound and testing. So I didn't know that the aftermath would entail what felt like endless testing. After the first ultrasound and the first blood test, which happened the same day as the miscarriage, I had to undergo 1 additional ultrasound and 3 additional blood tests that happened over a span of a couple weeks after. With this kind of testing, the ultrasound tech can't tell you anything directly. They'll check you externally, internally, or both, and whatever they find or don't find, they can't say a peep to you. Nothing. So you just go in there, you have them check you out, and they wheel you out and you have to wait for the results. So it feels like just forever. And you know, depending the results they give you, they may not be conclusive. Third is how common it is, and not because that lends any kind of comfort, but it does put it into perspective. It feels really lonely, and it feels like maybe it is something that you did and that maybe something's wrong with you. The hardest part for me was accepting that it just is, that it's Mother Nature, and it's a very hard but very natural way of life. Learning more about it factually helped me to understand it a little bit more and to just know that there's nothing wrong with me and that my body isn't just broken. 15 to 20% of detected pregnancies end in a miscarriage. And one stat that I kept seeing a lot was 1 in 4. Think about how many women get pregnant, how many women that you know who have been pregnant. That's a 1 in 4 chance. And that stat was really real for me, and it hit me pretty hard because it shows how real it is. But when I found out that I was pregnant, we shared it with just a few family members. 3 of them were women. They've all been pregnant before, but none of them experienced this. And there was me. So 1 in 4. And 4 is complete miscarriage. So what I experienced was a complete miscarriage, and what that is essentially your body, everything emptied and passed naturally on its own. So when it happens, you might not know exactly when it happens initially. For me, I know exactly when it happened, but I learned that as I went on in the process and learned more about this and about what my body was going through. Initially, there were 2 different times that I thought it could have happened, and once I knew everything and once I knew more about HCG levels, I now, sadly, know exactly when it happened. There are different types of miscarriages and different types of pregnancy loss, and each of them come with their own process for both your body and I guess aftercare, like testing and everything that you're gonna have to go through. It's not just something happens very immediately and the person knows and they go to the hospital and they come back home and then they're just sad until whenever they have finished healing or whatever happens to them on TV. That's not how it happens in real life. There are different things that can happen. There are different ways that it can happen. Your body does different things. It heals differently. It takes a different amount of time to heal for everybody. But the one thing that is common between all of them is that it's long and just feels endless. I want you to be aware of all of these things because they are things that I didn't know going into it, and I think that they are things that would have been helpful to know. Now, having been through it, you know, maybe they would have helped me a little bit more had I been able to have some foresight into what I was going to experience or what to expect. And 2 things that I would like to end with that I want you to know are, first, to please choose your words wisely and kindly. It may not seem like a big deal to you, but it is a big deal to many. And we don't need, those of us who do feel this and are suffering and are hurting, we don't need your unkindness and your backhanded condolences. That doesn't help, and it's just rude. So maybe you just don't say anything. If you're unsure of what to say or how to say it and you do sympathize, try to take the approach of 1, being positive, and 2, like what you can offer, so what you can do. So can I help you with anything? How can I help? What can I do to help you? That type of speak, or words of hope for the future. Try to avoid the at least phrases, because while you may really have the best intentions with what you're saying, it doesn't always offer a lot of peace of mind, especially in the beginning stages of everything. Maybe farther down the line, once we've had more time to think about it and learn about it and understand what happened, maybe those phrases will seem a little less sad or hurtful then, or maybe they will just make a little bit more sense. But when it's just happened to you, I think I can speak for a lot of people when I say that it's not comforting, and it doesn't really help as much as you might think. So maybe it's good for you to know that. I guess the best way that I can maybe try to help you understand it is that if you have felt the joy of knowing that someone that you love is pregnant and you have been able to share in that excitement with them and think about all these things that this little person is going to do in the future, or what like you're going to get to see them do and experience and wear, and like naming them or guessing what this person is going to name them, or any of that kind of stuff. Remember that we had that too, and now it's gone. It's been taken away from us. That joy and that excitement is gone. That is a pain that I wish for no one. So just try to be compassionate and be respectful, please. And the last, I decided not to refilm, so you can watch this clip from last Friday. So here you go. Actually, one more quick thing I wanted to say before I end this, because I keep seeing a lot of this, and I want to be very clear about it. I am so happy and so grateful for all of my friends and my family and like people around me, people in this little like vlogging community that I've entered. I am so happy for each and every one of them who are pregnant, who have just had a child, who have babies, who will be expecting soon, all that kind of stuff. I am not mad about it. I do not feel envious. I don't I've made it a point, but I also just don't have it in my heart to feel angry or to feel like, why them? Why do they get that and I don't? I think that that is the wrong way to look at it. Everyone is going to feel and grieve and heal in their own way, but for me, that is a part of my healing process. I actually really like seeing everybody's pregnancy announcements and being happy for them, because I know that down the line that's going to happen for me. So I just want to put that out there because I think it's really important. And I also don't want anyone that I know to think that they can't tell me their exciting news or anything. I mean, I'm happy for everybody. So please continue to share that, because truly I think it, in a strange, interesting way, it helps me heal more than it hurts. So yeah, I just think that's important. All right, guys, I'm gonna end this vlog style just because I like that better. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I really hope that this helps, and I hope that if you're going through it, that you don't go through this alone, and that you know that there are so many people out there who love you and support you and want to help. And if for some reason you feel alone or like you can't tell them, please, please, please talk to me, because whether your experience was past or if it's present or future, I am here for you and you can talk to me. So please, please feel free to DM, text, email, call, whatever you need to do. I'm here for you, seriously. And if this was helpful for you, or if you'd like to see anything more on this topic, please let me know in the comments below. I appreciate all of your support and kindness and love and condolences and everything, because this is not easy. It is really hard to be this vulnerable in general, but especially on here so openly. So thank you. And that's gonna be it for this video, and I will see you in my next video.